If you've been watching my content for any significant length of time, you probably know that I love collecting NASCAR diecasts. It goes all the way back to when I was a kid and I would take some of my 1/64 scale cars to the playground at recess to trade. I really just wanted all my friends' Matt Kenseth cars, so I wound up with like 4 of the same paint scheme. But hey, I was happy. NASCAR diecasts have been a huge part of my YouTube channel since I started. In fact, I was at my parents' house recently and I found a few boxes of diecasts from my old stop motion days. Check this out, I have them labeled by year. Oh yeah, Dex Season 7 champion, perhaps? Maybe I'm wrong, I can't even remember my own series. But why am I bringing all this up today? Well, I was delighted recently when Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR, asked me to help reveal their next wave of NASCAR Authentics. NASCAR just finished celebrating its 75th anniversary season. Earlier this year, Lionel sold a set of diecasts commemorating 8 legendary drivers' 75th wins. Now, those cars are available individually thanks to NASCAR Authentics Wave 7. I've got a magical box of NASCAR Authentics here I can't wait to show you. Kicking things off, Darrell Waltrip, the Tide Ride. He won his 75th career race in 1989, DW. Finished his career with 84 wins officially, putting himself in a tie for 4th with Bobby Allison. This scheme may be on a modern day next gen chassis, but that orange, that yellow, instantly recognizable. Man, something about seeing the black number 3 on a modern day NASCAR next gen Camaro. Pretty much everyone remembers Dale Earnhardt's final win, his 76th win, that vintage performance he put on at Talladega. But earlier in that year, in the year 2000, he actually won at Atlanta, his 75th career victory. I love how the dates of these wins are actually printed out there on the rear deck lid. March 12th, 2000. Awesome stuff. I'm going in no particular order, as you can see, but how about a Ford? David Pearson, the Silver Fox. The classic Wood Brothers colors haven't changed much, but I love the decals on the hood. I also love how you can see David Pearson's name right there below the driver's side window. Okay, the packaging on this one's pretty crazy. I mean, they all feature the same diamond logo, but the blue and red flames behind Jeff Gordon's name, pretty great. Getting logo approvals from sponsors no longer in the sport, I'm sure is difficult, but somehow they've got the NASCAR Nextel Cup logo here on the contingency panel. That's awesome. And speaking of awesome, it wouldn't be a NASCAR Legends pack without the king, Richard Petty. October 1st, 1967. Crazy that Richard Petty wasn't even halfway towards his final career total when he got this win. This is just proof that the Petty Blue 43, as well as those vintage Goodyear Eagles on the side, look great no matter what era of car we're talking about. Oh, and something to keep your eye out for when you're at Walmart or Target this holiday season, the Richard Petty liquid color chase piece. It makes sense that they do liquid color for this one. Can you imagine them doing the same finish for Dale Earnhardt's black number 3? It just wouldn't have the right effect. We're still going. How about Bobby Allison? Top 5 all time on NASCAR's Cup Series wins list. I know they couldn't get the Miller logos on the side, but I do appreciate the sort of gold copper rims on this. That's a nice touch. Oh, how about this? Cale Yarborough. I think his 75th win actually came in the Daytona 500. And lastly, we'll end with, I guess technically the only active driver in this set, and that's Jimmy Johnson. It does look a bit strange without the Lowe's logo on the side, but again, they got the Sprint Cup Series, the classic Sprint Cup logo, 2015. So this win did not come during his 7th championship season, but pretty cool nonetheless. There you have it. NASCAR Authentics Wave 7 is the 75th win collection. I do love how all of these schemes are pretty much instantly recognizable. It'd be nice to have the DuPont logo or the GM Goodwrench logo, although in many of these cases, it's understandable why that wasn't possible. Still, I think this is a pretty cool collection. It's something a bit different in time for the holiday season. Now, let's bring in Carlene from Lionel to tell us a little bit more about why these cars, why this collection was selected for Wave 7. Can you tell us a little bit more as to how you guys settled on these drivers, these schemes to represent NASCAR's most important eras?
Yeah, absolutely. Great one to pick up first, by the way. When we first released the 75th anniversary 75 wins 8-pack a few months ago, there was a huge outburst of excitement on social media and a lot of collectors asking if they'll be available individually. So we figured what perfect way, since it's an 8 pack and our waves have 8 cars, to get them individually and have as many collectors as possible be able to go out and find them, than sticking them in a wave.
Fans may notice that Wave 7 here actually came after Wave 8. Can you explain maybe why this wave took a little longer to produce?
Absolutely, yeah. So the waves, just like anything else we do, require approvals. Approvals from teams, drivers, sponsors, whoever's involved. And with Wave 7, due to a lot of the drivers being not in the sport anymore, it took a little bit longer because we were working with a lot of drivers we don't normally work with on a day to day. I think the only one who's in it that we still have racing is Jimmy. So other than that, it was a lot of reaching out, finding the right people, the ones who still represent them, and getting those approvals. So it did take just a smidgen longer than usual.
Yeah, I wondered that when I saw like David Pearson, or I just pulled up, Daryl Waltrip. Like, he's still around the sport, but I'm like, man, they got the names and everything. I was actually surprised. Even the number font, the 17 font, very impressive stuff. Now, but looking at the package, first thing you notice is the giant diamond NASCAR 75th logo. But I'm sure fans will probably notice some other slight changes to how these NASCAR Authentics are packaged, I guess. Can you maybe explain to fans and collectors a little bit about how the packaging is going to change maybe going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting with this Wave 7, and then it'll pick back up with Wave 9 and so on, the packaging for our mask cars will no longer have a trinket with it. Our mask vendors, just like everyone else right now, right, we're all kind of feeling that pressure from inflation. So in order to meet their cost requirements, we had to lower our production cost. So instead of removing any of the detail from the cars, we know that's what the collectors go for most, what they're looking for to add to their collection, right? Instead of removing anything or having to mess with any of the detail on the cars themselves, we went and removed that trinket instead.
Well, the cars themselves do look fantastic. Really cool to see these blasts from the past hitting store shelves. And I guess speaking of which, ahead of the holiday season, where can fans find this latest wave of NASCAR Authentics?
Yeah, so be on the lookout. They're going to start popping up at your Walmart, Target, Meijer, and it seems like they're hitting shelves quicker than ever lately. So I would say starting next week, y'all, be on the lookout.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Carlene, for joining us and giving some insight to fans and collectors out there.
Yeah, anytime. It's always a pleasure to be on, Eric.
Again, I really appreciate Lionel sending me these cars to take a look at ahead of time. It's an honor, honestly, to be a part of their latest NASCAR Authentics wave reveal. Like, I'm the kind of fan, I look forward to these wave reveals because every time I'm in Target, I'm in the Hot Wheels aisle looking for the latest diecast, see what I might be able to pick up. If you're into these kinds of schemes, looking to pick them up, keep an eye out at your local retailers. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back with a normal Out of the Groove next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day, folks. Thanks for watching.